Today's practice, shells, a lot of great work, got a lot of teamwork against each other. Finished up with a pretty competitive 2-minute drill at the end of the day, but really love the attitude and the way this team keeps working. I keep talking about that all year, how impressed I've been with their desire when they get out there on the field and the way they're working and the attitude that they have and the effort that they're putting into practice every day. We keep saying the mindset during the course of the week is who we're playing is irrelevant. It's all about us, and we got to keep getting better because this is not about a game. It's about a season with what we're doing and trying to continue to get better. But right now, I really like the way that everybody's out there working right now.
Skip, did you say earlier that you plan on getting the second stringers in even in the first half potentially Saturday?
Yeah, we're looking at getting them in one of the early series to let them know that they're not out here just practicing for an emergency backup role, or if they were to get an opportunity to play late in the game. We want them to understand, and we've been talking about it as a staff. How do we do this? How do we get them to understand that we need them to keep coming? Because as you go through the course of a season, one of these guys somewhere on our twos is going to have to step in and play for us and play a significant role somewhere down the line. And so we've got to get them some experience. And so we talked about one of the series in the first half getting the twos in so they realize they're going to play. They're not just out here practicing to go through the motions, that they're going to play. And maybe they'll get a little bit more of a sense of urgency about them and pay a little bit more attention in meetings and kind of cross the T's and dot the I's.
And speaking of backups, can you talk about how Claude Davis is making the most out of every opportunity?
He really is doing a great job for us. Claude Davis is he's growing up, he's maturing, he's always had talent. He's had a tremendous amount of talent. It's been just him being accountable as far as his assignments and his role in the defense. He's been kind of a ready, fire, aim product out there on the field, but what he's really becoming is he's starting to get it. He's a senior, he was a junior college player, and he's really starting to get it. He's coming off on the ball, and he's got great speed and athleticism, and the one thing he can do now, he can rush a passer. He can come around the edge, and that's really becoming one of his trademarks in what he's doing. But he's getting to the point now where he's becoming more reliable to play on an every down basis. And I'm really proud of Claude and the way that he's grown up, and the way he's maturing, and the football player that he's becoming.
Skip, when you make a wholesale switch like that and bringing in the entire second team offense, does that give you a better gauge of where they are, or does it make it tougher for you to gauge where they are as opposed to maybe sprinkling them in with a lot of the first team?
I think you get a much better evaluation of where they are, how far away they are from being able to turn and step in and play more of a starting role for us, which is what we keep talking about. I think depth has been something that y'all have heard me stress and talk about since day one. It's been my biggest concern on this team, the drop off from our ones to our twos, and it showed up Saturday when the twos had an opportunity to go in and play. And so I told them it's not a choice. This is not, well, we have a big drop off. We got to get better. We got to keep improving as a staff. We're not going to sit stagnant and status quo and say, well, here we are. So I think it's going to give us a great evaluation on where they are. We have the opportunity to grade each player individually when we turn and get on the film. We're going to see where they are as a group or as a unit, but we'll get an opportunity to grade them individually. But I want them to know that they're going to play at a significant point in this game.
And you're going to put Williams in at the tackle spot with the second team group?
Yes,
is that the plan?
yes. Right now, Darrell Williams, as I talked about in the press conference, Darrell Williams will be the left tackle.
Skip it overall. I mean, you talked about depth. I mean, these freshmen that have gotten sprinklings, I mean, this is an opportunity for them to get meaningful snaps as well, just in terms of not only for depth and second string, but just for their progress.
I think you prepare differently when you know you're going to play. You prepare completely different. It's different being a starter than being a backup. When you're going into backup, you go in, well, okay, if there's an injury, I'm going to play. This way they know they're just like a starter. They're going to play. You start watching film a little harder. You start listening in meetings a little bit closer. You start thinking about your steps and what I got to do, because it's a proud group and they want to be good. So I think it's going to be an invaluable experience for them. But I think we've got to do something to turn and close that gap somewhere along the line for the course of the season.